Made it live at 5. How is everybody? Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to our live at 5 social media live audit edition. We're catching up with everybody 5 o'clock weeknights as we audit social media accounts. We're looking at TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, both Facebook business pages and Facebook personal pages. There is a massive, massive, massive load of potential out here on social media land. When it comes to lead generation or it comes to growing businesses, there is social media has gone from being a tool to being a powerhouse, gone from being a toy to being a powerhouse tool for lead generation. And it's incredible what you can actually do it with platforms out here. So I'm here to take a look behind the scenes, see what's going on with people's accounts, have a bit of an audit, check out how we can set them up better, because the better they are set up for lead generation and for business, the more opportunities we avail for ourselves. So, when we think about it, we are all here. If you're watching this right now, it's because you enjoy hanging out on social media. It's, there was probably a little while ago, as I say, I have told this story before, and it was about 2009 when I joined Facebook, right? It had been out for ages and I just didn't get it. I grew up in the stages where social media didn't exist, right? Believe it or not, I grew up before the internet. And I'm just checking that we're all live and everything's working. And I can see your comments. Let me just see whether. So I'll be able to see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I grew up before the internet, right? So whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, we'll see. But so as time's gone on, we've now got this incredible opportunity to use the internet for good, hopefully for good. So what I'm doing each night live at 5 is unpacking some behind the scenes of social media, just so that we've got all of our accounts set up and we can bring in some leads with this powerful tool. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Katrina. I am the founder and owner of Butterfly Media, and I have an incredible team behind me that helps us build legacy brands that outlive their founders using the power of the internet. So I've told this story a lot the last couple of days. I remember when I first started with social media, when I first started Butterfly Media, it was like 2019. And for the first 3 months of that business, Mark Zuckerberg ran it for me, right? I didn't know how to run social media, and instead social media ran me. So I was kind of looking at all the different trends. The thing was going 100 miles an hour. Still figuring out what hashtags were on Instagram and how many accounts I needed. I remember I was doing photography the year before, and I had about 4 different Instagram accounts to suit the different areas of the business that I was thinking I was going to run. So I had family photography, product photography, portraits, and just fun photography that I was doing for fun. I actually even got into the wedding space for a little while, right? If you're here, say hi. It's great to chat with you. And I got into the wedding space. So on Instagram, I had 4 different accounts for each of these places. And to run one account on Instagram is nearly a full-time job, let alone 4. So you could imagine being spread too thin, trying to work out what a hashtag was, trying to work out how to get traction back then, even on the visual candy, or what I call the pretty platform, right? That became owned by photographers. It was a photographer's business card for so many years. And even that, I was just like, I can't get these accounts to grow. And it was just being spread too thin. So in the end, after 3 months, I went, thanks, Mark. We've hung out for a while, but I'm going to go run my own business. So then I started to bring in systems and processes that allowed everything to come down and make social media manageable, and actually start to get ROI on efforts. And the ROI that I like to measure is sales, right? Rather than followers and those sorts of metrics. They're very important. They have their place. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason that we all want to go out for this reach and impressions and eyes on the prize and followers and all of those sorts of things. But we need to move people through our cycle if they do come on and start to follow us, and off social media as quickly as possible. I've said it a million times. What would you do if Facebook went down tomorrow? What would you do if Instagram went down? It has happened. There's been glitches over the years and it's just stopped. I remember I was running ads and I had the most amazing ads running, like they were working, they were delivering really well. And then the ads went down, like the actual Facebook ads went down. And I was just like, my God, what am I going to do now? And I was just running ads at that stage. So my whole business went until they brought the ads back up, and, pretty stressful times. So we don't want social media running our business. We want it as a working business card for us, a place where we build brand, where we build personal brand and company brands. We find our space in the market and we build something that's meant to last, and we use the social media space to bring people off and into our business. So today what I thought we'd do is take a look at LinkedIn. If any of you are using it, it's one of my favorite places to hang out. I love Facebook and LinkedIn. I have a ball here. Facebook, we have lots of fun, and LinkedIn, we get super serious, right? So LinkedIn is in an exceptional B2B marketing conversation. If you are a business to business marketing space, or if that's what you do, if you start businesses, there's no other place to be. LinkedIn is the place to be for this conversation. People are primed for it. They're ready for it. They're open to it, and they want to have it. The only other place in the past that used to be awesome for this was Twitter, or X, which was, maybe up until a year ago, was super awesome for founders and that sort of startup space. A lot of people would find each other in Silicon Valley on Twitter and create incredible connections across the globe. A lot of, people would find investors. There'd be all sorts of different ideas being thrown about in there, and people could come together, and it's probably still the same. I just haven't been on there as often. So if anybody here is using Twitter, let me know if you're finding that to be the case. Hey, Melanie, how you doing? Great to see you. We're going to take a look at LinkedIn. I know you've got some other pages, but we're going to take a look at LinkedIn tonight, because I am pretty sure that some of you haven't hung out on LinkedIn, although some of you probably do have some accounts over there. So what I thought I'd do is I would take a look at my account, show you what it looks like, just so we can get an idea of how a LinkedIn account is set up and the sorts of things we're looking for. And then if you've got any questions or anything like that, I'll keep an eye on everything and answer any of them. And as I say, hopefully they'll come over the side here as well. Most of the time this tech works for me because I've been doing it long enough now. I'm going to say it too loudly though, right? And then I do have an account to audit as well. Somebody has been kind enough, Belinda Paris has said, yes, you can look at my stuff. So let's take a look at LinkedIn. If you are using it, let me know in the chat. Let me share some windows, and we're off and running. All right, cool. So LinkedIn, as I say, is a powerhouse for B2B conversations, B2B marketing. Just make sure that that's nice and big. Always moving screens around. Always moving the tech around. LinkedIn is where it's at for B2B marketing. Incredible space for outreach. There is Sales Navigator, which is the second side to LinkedIn over here, which is what we use for a lot of our outreach. It's an incredible prospecting tool, an incredible sales tool. We can unpack that at some stage. But what we're going to do today is take a look at a LinkedIn account. Take a look at mine just so we can see what it looks like when it's set up, to optimized for lead generation and optimized for business. And the things that maybe we want to avoid or include. So as always, headshot. It's the key that we need on all accounts, and it needs to be the same on all of your accounts. Like this is the exact same photo that's on my Facebook personal account. For my Instagram and my TikTok and my Facebook business pages, they do have our logo because that is our business side. This is the personal brand shining a light back on the business. And a lot of people say to me, how do you go about that? How do you go being the face of the business? What happens if you want to sell it in a couple of years? How does that work in the marketing space? When it comes to LinkedIn, the personal page or these professional accounts are the ones that people are going to connect with. Your business account is here. What you do as a personal brand, as the CEO or as the face or the founder of your business, is you are the person that is talking about it. You are the one that is shining a light back on it. People will connect with you. You will be the person. Generally, it's the CEO, or it's, as I say, it's the face of the business. The person that's driving the growth of the business is generally out the front, or the one that is good with being out the front. And that's your job. Your job is to be out the front, have a page like this, and shine a light back on your business. So that's why we have the Facebook personal page, and that's also why we have this one. So ideally, we have the headshot that's exactly the same as the or as any other personal account you're running. And don't get me wrong, you can have personal accounts on Instagram and TikTok, and they will generally always do better because people connect with people. They don't connect with logos. So generally you'll find the big brands like Coke and Nike and, Louis Vuitton, all of them, they all have their logos, they have their brand in the market, but they'll hire influencers or actors or people to become the faces of the business, because we're humans and we connect with humans. So that's why we do this here. So this is my personal page for LinkedIn. This is where most of the connections come from. This is why you have a LinkedIn account, so that you can go and connect with decision makers in B2B environments that you want to get into, or you want to have conversations with, or create businesses with, or new ideas. So it's not always about connecting and selling. It's definitely about building community, and there's no better place in the business world than to do it here. So LinkedIn personal page, what we're looking for again is the headshot, the same as everywhere else. The banner is generally the same as other places, or depending on the offer you've got going. So this one I haven't changed out. I've still got it as what if LinkedIn could actually make you sales? And then it's got a call to action, right? And I'll always tell you to DM me. Always looking for the DMs. That's where all the conversations happen. People shop in public and buy in private. And a lot of the times when we get into the DMs, we learn a lot about our market. A lot of people are scared of DM outreach. And again, when I was away, was really, really, really lucky to go to Brisbane over the last 2 days and hang out with some incredible business owners and just hear where they're at in business. And it was very, that's what I'm looking for. It was just good to be surrounded by other people and being able to hear where they're at and just listen to some of the wins and some of the challenges that other business owners were having at different stages. And from that, I was able to just learn a little bit about how people are seeing social media, how they're seeing themselves out there. And a lot of people, these people included, but a lot of people I speak with, and myself included, are scared of DMs. We feel like we're selling. We feel like we're outreaching. We feel like we're the used car sales guy. And really, we want to be those, because those guys actually make things happen. But there is actually a lot of beauty inside the DMs, and this is where a lot of the gold is, right? If you come into messaging, you can learn so much about your market just by asking them how they are today, or just by asking them, thanks so much for engaging with my content. I hope you found value. Tell me, what are you finding harder right now? Is it lead gen or content creation? Or, thanks for engaging with my content. I hope you found value. Tell me, what's going on for you right now? And it's just something super simple, just an easy question, and you're off and running. And that's sort of where I was headed when I was talking a little bit earlier today, just about what the gold that's left on social media. If we can start to overcome some of the fear, we start to find a lot of the, as I say, the gold on the other side. What's that saying? If only you knew what was on the other side of fear, something like that. So back to where we were. Let's audit this. We're going to have our headshot. We've got our banner, which is our offer. Usually our offer sitting up here, it makes it easy for people to know what they are getting and what you want them to do. This is what happens here. And it's just sort of really solidifying in somebody's mind, okay, this is who this person is. This is what they do. Okay, is this for me or not? The next thing that people will do is they'll come down here and they'll read this. And this is your elevator pitch. This is your short bio that needs to be left-leaning and tell us on the first couple of words what you're going to do for us. So it's not a bio on who you are. It's a bio on how you serve your audience. It's the result that's sitting on the left-hand side. And it's, as my amazing brand systems copywriter manager, Christine, tells me all the time, we make this left-leaning so that we have all of the sale and the benefit right at the start, so that I get what I'm here for and I know what you're going to do for me. And then I can read anything else after that. Not only that, this kind of stuff shows up first. So in this bio, there's 150 characters, I think, in here. You're going to start with the sale, with the small pitch, and then come in and either call out your audience or start to, down here, share some of the awards or books or things that you've written. So you might just back up what you're saying with some proof around something that you've won. So it's always about them. So we're creating sales opportunities with LinkedIn. That's what we do. We do this every day. We bring in about 5 to 8 sales opportunities. Today I found 7 inside an account I was working on. It's amazing what's sitting here when you start to dig. So that was 7 sales opportunities that I found on an account today in an hour. So that's what we do. 4 professional services, which is perfect for LinkedIn. So we work with IT professionals, HR professionals, coaches, buyers agents, those sorts of professional services that we can really build gorgeous personal brands with out here. get them to come out of hiding, and they grow their brand and their bottom line. That's what we're about. So that is a very short, sharp elevator pitch when anybody needs to read this. The other thing we do is we take our pronouns and turn them into a sales pitch. So you'll come in here and you'll edit out your profile. And as you're coming down here, this is where the pronouns are kept, and you'll just change that out. This is the only platform you can do it. It's the best way. You turn your pronouns into a mini sales pitch. It's going to be the best use of pronouns I've ever heard, right? So little sales pitch. And the reason that you want that there is whenever you're in the DMs, this stands out. So your name will be there, and then this little pitch will be here, so that as you're chatting, people know what you do. Super valuable. People ask me about why I've got an emoji here. There was a little trend happening probably about 6 months ago on LinkedIn where people were putting emojis on their names, and I had a unicorn there because one of my clients actually said to me one day, "My God, Kat, you're a unicorn." So I put that one there, and then people are saying to me, "Why have you got the unicorn there?" I went, "Well, let's have a chat about it." So it just started the conversation going. That fad's gone now, but I've kept this here because this is our company. So I just leave that there for now. Stands out. People go, "Why you got a butterfly there?" I go, "Well, let's have a chat." So that's how you can start to get a conversation around the top part of your bio. We'll come down to the link. Now, if you've got premium, which I have because I run Sales Navigator, you can change out these buttons. So I've got it directed to our audits so people can log in and get themselves a free audit. So if you'd like one, click the link and I'll see you soon. But you can have different things here, like go to my website or book a call. The book a call one, I tend to not want to leave there because you get a lot of random calls come in that could waste your time. It's better to use this as a direct link to somewhere. Be much like a much stronger presence and a much stronger landing page, which is what we're building here. These buttons here are just custom. This is what I can see because this is my page. The data I can see, which is delicious. But then we're going to come down to our about section. Again, this is even more important on LinkedIn than it is on any other about section area. This people read. The thing in the B2B space, right, is people read about you. They will read a lot more than they will on any other platform, or they'll read a lot more about you than in any other arrangement. So if I'm going to work with a business, I want to know all about them. I want to know how long they've been going, what they've been doing, the proof around who they are and what they say they can do, any awards they've won, any reviews they've got, any experience, case studies, all that kind of stuff, right? As a B2B decision maker, you're sitting here going, how does this fit into my company? Does it work? How does it work? And how much value is it going to give me in about 12 months? Will it actually add any value to my company? And these are the sort of questions you're asking yourself. So you'll come into this about section and, you've sort of been looking at this person making all of these big, bold promises up here, right? And then as you start to slow down, you want some backup or you want some proof. So the about section is all about that. And I've just as always, put a twist on these things. So generally in here, you will have who you are. You'll have a very short one-liner. We call it a TLDB. So too long, I'm going to read short, right? A one-liner for the people that can't be bothered reading a lot. And then you go down and you'll have, this is my experience. This is what I've been up to in the world. And you write it personally, as if you're talking to somebody, but in a short, sharp space. That's one way. And that's the main way that this about section should be set up. Otherwise, you do what I do. And I'll just put my offer in here. So I've said to them, get all this stuff, I can do these things, come down here. This is what we've got going on right now. Book a call and we'll have a chat. So that's two ways you can do it. I run the offer, depending on how powerful that is. Generally, they're powerful. Otherwise, I don't run offers. Or the about section. And I'll show you the about section in a second. So these two, this is how they marry up. You always want a link in here, or you want a way that people can contact you. It might not necessarily be a link because of LinkedIn, but you'll have something like go here to contact me. Always want a call to action on these things. Hit the DMs so that we can learn more, right? Because people are busy. They just don't always know what you want them to do, what their next steps are. You just see how you guys are doing. It's a bit delayed. All right, we'll keep going. Anyone got any questions about LinkedIn? Because I could have a ball in here. The next area, these are just the posts, right, that sit here that you can go and check out. But the experience, right? We need to have this filled in because people will come and check this out. They will research you and analyze you and make sure that everything starts to stack up before they even outreach to you, before they even contact you. And one of the interesting things that researchers have found, and I watch a lot of podcasts on a lot of things and a lot of people doing lots of research on things, is social media podcasts that I watch. And one of the LinkedIn professionals were talking about some research that they'd done with LinkedIn. And they were looking at, sending out some posts and how that correlates to actually bringing in leads. And if you're not doing outreach, you'll notice a massive difference. But even if you are, there's a slight difference, which is with LinkedIn, they call it the dark audience. And there's a lot of people that are voyeurs. They're watching in the background all the time. They're looking at your content as it goes out. They're checking out everything here, making sure it adds up. They're coming up the top and rereading this. They may read this a couple of times. Again, they'll check your posts out just to make sure that you're consistently turning up and being who you say you're going to be, particularly on here. And it's about 60% of the 1 billion users that don't engage. They don't post, they don't comment, they don't do anything. And then all of a sudden you'll get a message from them and they'll say, hey, I'd love to work with you. And it's because they've been watching you for a while and you've just shown up and been the person that they thought you were. So it's funny how we use outreach and we bring people in, and it's great for doing that. But there's also people that are watching the whole time. So posting consistently, is crucial to getting eyes on the prize. And then also you use this engagement to go and do outreach. So it's just something to think about, even if you can do it once a week, just a once a week post. That's a thought leadership, kind of post out here, sharing insights into what you're up to, or a case study just to prove that you can do what you say you can do, would go a long way. And as I say, people come down here and they're going to read all about what you're up to in the world and, any sorts of endorsements you've got or any sorts of education you've got. So that is a standard, not a basic, but a standard LinkedIn profile set up correctly. The other thing that you may have is a featured area, which just sits here, and I haven't got it set up yet. I'll probably set it up in the next couple of days. The featured area is usually a landing page space, and I'll show you when I check out the next account, you'll see what I mean. And it's just a very simple call to action space. You keep it at one call to action and just send people to your landing pages from here and just bring in leads that way. So any questions around LinkedIn, let me know. This is a basic or a standard setup for LinkedIn where you've got access to loads of leads. LinkedIn's a powerhouse. Anyone here using it? Anyone using LinkedIn, let me know. What are your thoughts on the perfect ratio for posting versus engaging on LinkedIn? Yeah, great question, Jason. There's so many conversations around how you go about doing that. And is there a perfect ratio? I think it's very much about the amount of time you've got to give these things. And I have said this a couple of times. I'm not allowed on TikTok until I've done my outreach at night. It's kind of like, when you have a glass of wine, when I used to a million years ago, and you'd have the fireplace as well. And the minute you have that sip of wine and a fireplace, that's it. There was nothing else ever going to happen, right? You're just drawn into that thing, even just a fireplace. So generally what I say is, if you're going to post now or post when it suits your audience. Like, again, as I was saying a couple of days ago, for me, I know I've got two markets at the moment. I've got the Australian market and the UK market. They're my two core, areas where my business comes from at this stage. I'm looking at the US, but the reason I say that is if I post at 5 p.m. Sydney time, I can capture the Australian market and the UK market. So I get both of them, because as they wake up in the UK and as they're starting to finish work in Australia, I get that beautiful crossover. And for some unknown reason, the UK guys tend to be looking at LinkedIn in the morning more so than the afternoon, and Australia is slightly different. So for me, it just works. So the reason I say that is if I post at 5 p.m. on an evening, and then I stay and engage, so if I stay and engage for the next 30 minutes, that's an ideal ratio. So I just do 30 minutes of engagement straight after I post, while the algorithm's taking the next 90 minutes to read the post and see where it's going out. So that's how I would be looking at it. And, if you had to do one or the other, I would definitely be engaging and outreaching over creating content. but you need that content to prove, who you are. Once you start engaging and getting into the DMs with people, are going to come over and check you out. So that's how I would do it. If you're going to just post minimally, we do 3 posts a week. I have a posting with purpose system Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Fridays is the sales post. It goes out the same every week. Your Wednesdays is stories, so they're your case studies and your founder stories. And the Mondays are the education stuff around things that you're noticing in your industry and what people could be looking out for to help them navigate it. If you could do 3 a week, that'd be amazing. Again, if you can only do 1, make it extremely strong in thought leadership and very valuable to your actual market. Because talking to a scientist during the week, and they've got a very small community that they'd like to prospect to just for the niche that they're in, probably about 100 companies that they might want to work with. So their content would be very specific to the needs of that market, and they only really need to post once a week. And then they could send that post or a link to it to the people in that network on LinkedIn and say, hey, I've just made this, thought you might be interested in it. And that's how we'd start to reach out and build that over time. So that's LinkedIn. At this stage, I am super lucky to be able to share Belinda Paris with you. She's said yes. She's happy for me to share her amazing LinkedIn profile. This is going to be fun. If you would like your LinkedIn profile audited, we can have a good look at that. If you'd like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok audited, where all the good links are kept, you will be able to register. I need you to register only because I want your permission for me to go live with your page. So there is a link. Register your account that you'd like audited. You can take a look at it and just check out how much it's singing, because it will be singing. I know you guys. All right, let me bring across Belinda, move a few things around. 1 second. I need like waiting music or something. I think that'd take me to the next level if I had to do that though. All right, welcome to Belinda Paris. She is an international career coach with a lot of other skills. What a fantastic profile. I'd love it if we could engage, if we could chat a little bit. Always have a bit of back and forth after I've done a presentation. So I don't know if you guys can see this clearly. That's better, isn't it? All right, welcome to Belinda Paris, and her beautiful LinkedIn account. If we just slide it down, we can take a look. She's got a gorgeous headshot, her beautiful hero image. We'll take a look at what she's got written here. I love that she's a top voice, and we can talk about how you become one of those. She's got her education over here, her actual company here with the image or the logo that she's got on her page. Super important to have that here. She's also got, that's telling me things because I'm in my account. She's got her about section here, which we'll take a look at in a second. Her services, which are great. This is the featured section that I was talking about. And I'll explain this a little bit in more detail. We've got our content here coming down, which is great. Look at this beautiful engagement here. This is, for me, this is lead generation 101. Any sorts of comments that are happening on accounts, that's when we start to go and talk to these people. So this is gorgeous. The reason you want engagement, the only reason you want it, like people talk about getting reach, getting impressions, getting likes, and all of those kind of things. And back in the day, they were called vanity metrics. But there's a reason you want them. You want 27 engagements because that's 27 people that we can go now and DM and say, hey, thanks so much for engaging on my post. I hope you enjoyed something about it. And then we start to open up the conversation. And there's 24 comments on here. And again, in the comment space, we can start to educate people on what we do and how we do it. And again, open up conversations online as well, like in the open rather than in the DMs. So that's why we want engagement. So we want content that connects. And then we start to understand what's also hitting the mark. The market research is incredible. So she's got great posts coming down here, and then our experience. So the important part with the experience is to have, wherever possible, as much as possible, the logos in these business pages in here. It just helps it sit right. It helps LinkedIn believe you that you are who you say you are. So just every little Every little aspect makes a massive difference. Some companies don't always have them here. And you may have set up a business page and you don't have your logo sitting here. So just make sure that you do have that on that side. And we can always talk about business pages down the track. She's got her education here, which is great. All the licenses you need to be in her world as she has gone through. Skills, the endorsements here. We do endorsing on LinkedIn. If you do work with somebody, it's a way of referring them, if you like. And if you get some endorsements in the world that you work in, that's fantastic, because 25 endorsements in professional branding, it's going to make anybody go and have a look at what she's up to. So let's step it back and take it a little bit slower here. Sorry for the scroll, guys. It can hurt your eyes a little bit. All right. First up, beautiful headshot. So we can see Belinda. We can get to know her. We know who she is when we bump into her on LinkedIn or in the street. Right, that's what we're after. We want to be able to see who she is, a nice clear image. And it's a smile, right? So it's very welcoming. So fantastic. So international career coach, helping busy professional fast track their careers, professional branding expert, bespoke resumes, LinkedIn optimization, and job search strategy and coaching. So I would be looking at her branding. It's going to come here. We click on the picture here to get the company page. What I'm looking at is branding. Just looking for the same consistent colors and fonts all the way through so that it's cohesive, because my Siri is going to talk to me in a minute. Yeah, I just wonder whether this... So if you can hear my Siri, he always talks to me. I just wonder whether this needs to be a little bit clearer, and helping busy professionals fast track their careers. That's a nice tagline. So it's like, okay, international career coach. I just think that needs to be clearer. I get that it's like fire and an inferno and like, let's get it going. I just think it needs to be clearer here. It'd be easier to read. So whether that was just clear writing, just be a little bit easier. And then, because then I can come down and go, okay, helping busy professionals fast track their career. Only because of brain calories, right? We get distracted easy. And I just need to read this and go, what is that? So I would just have that as clear text. Helping busy professionals fast track their careers. That's great. So I can go, okay, is that me? And is this for me? And then I kind of like that she's got this here, because it just simplifies in our minds and our brain calories. Is Belinda for me? Like, am I looking for professional branding? Am I looking for a resume? Am I looking for LinkedIn optimization? And am I looking for strategies around job search, right? So if I'm looking for any of those, that would talk to me and I'd be like, okay, now I want to know a little bit more about her. So then I would come down here and start to read up. So the difference between Belinda's account and mine, and the only reason I bring this up is just for this pitch that I was talking about. It's just easier to see it when it's side by side. So we want this side to be, as I say, left-leaning and a pitch on what you do. So as a resume writer, career coach, LinkedIn top voice, right? I would put those underneath. I help ambitious executives gain clarity in their career and land their dream role. Like, that is the pitch. And that needs to go here, right here. Yep. Without months of applying, message me clarity. I love this, right? Then I would have, I help this part. That would be the pitch. Just make that bigger again. So that part would go at the front. And I may even take out, this is getting very technical. I may even take out the word help and actually state what you do. It's stronger if you say it rather than say, I help ambitious executives. You would say, I give, or I get I get ambitious executives, or I give ambitious executives clarity in their career. Like, rather than help, you get it for them. And that's the difference. This is one little word that can just change your whole pitch. So rather than helping people do things, you get it done. And if that's in the pitch, they'll hear that's stronger. That means you've got the path, right? So it's just very, very minor that, after writing a few of these over time, that's one thing that we pick up on. It just changes the perception. Oh my God, I'm going to have Siri, and then I'm going to have my dog, Betty, who's going to jump in as well. Must be the weather. So I'd say something like, I get for ambitious executives clarity. Or I would say something like delivering clarity in career for ambitious executives, or something like that, just where you can just change that out. So that would go at the front over here. And then you would have resume writer, career coach, LinkedIn top voice, and then message me clarity to find out how I can help you. I love that there is a call to action in here. Love that. Love that. Nice. So it tells me how to do business with you. So I hope that helped. That's me getting clarity on what you're up to. So just if we can remove this help part and turn it into a get or a given, or I make it happen, it just means that it's a given. All right. So that's what we do here. Again, we change out the pronouns, and the pronouns become the actual result. So you could say career, clarity in career, or it's what you get. So dream career maker. I think you've got 20 or you got 30 characters in here. So it'd be something like creating dream careers, or dream career creator, or something like that, just in here. So I've got socials to sales because that's what we do. So for you, it's clarity in clarity. You've only got career clarity, career. Anyone got any ideas? Anyway, if you guys have got ideas, drop it down. Career, dream career, can't think of it right now. Clarity in career clarity. Something here, it just needs to be the pitch. Yep. Let's see what we can get there. Belinda, when we catch up, be super interesting. Clarity maker, career maker, clarity in careers. That's it. Clarity in career would sit nicely there. That's what I think anyway. So that's what we would do there in the bio. I love that you got the top voice there. So if you are commenting and sharing some of your insights on some of the work that LinkedIn send to you, they've got all sorts of, I don't know how to describe it, like pieces of content that they're making, and they'll send it out to people they believe are in that niche that have a top voice on it. And the more that you share into these articles, the more that you start to garner points on LinkedIn for your authority on the topic. And then ultimately you end up with a badge that's either top voice, top content creator, top content, this, whatever their categories are. So Belinda's a top voice here on LinkedIn, which is super cool. So that's always cool to have. It just sort of shows that you've got an authority and you're a thought leader on this platform. All right, so then we come down to the about section. Let's make that so that you guys can see it. All right. Love it. How great is that first line? So I'm all about hook headlines. My poor team, they're like, oh my God, she's saying it again. Hook headlines, hook headlines, hook headlines. All right. So the first headline has to get you to read the rest. And then the job of every sentence after that is to get you to read the next one. So copywriting 101, this is beautiful. So don't let outdated advice or resume writer and career coaches with zero executive search experience slow you down. Could even have a shorter headline, but this is great, right? Don't let outdated advice or resume writers and career coaches with zero executive search experience slow you down. Work with a top resume writer and career coach with over 25 years of experience helping Australian and New Zealand executives. So that's super cool, right? It's like, okay, don't get caught out. Why not work with a top writer with over 25 years of experience? So that's just like micro selling the value of this of Belinda, and then helping Australians and New Zealand executives. So narrowing the niche, which is fantastic. So that if you're in the US, you go, okay, it's not for me, right? So there's a reason that she must be wanting to work with just these guys. That would be all sorts of different experiences and knowing the resume writing space for this region. So you have, that's great. So it's like, don't feel the pain. Come and work with somebody that's got these sorts of experiences, this sort of backup, and in these industries, right? It's one realization that will save you months on your job search. A job hunt happens only a few times in your career. Can you truly excel at something you rarely practice? True. I love it. Job market has evolved. What worked a decade ago won't cut it today. Outdated methods and poor professional branding will lead to frustration and missed opportunities. This is nice. This is written like a landing page. This is great. So hook headline, small, subtle, but very well placed reasons why this person is so good. And then this one realization, that's a gorgeous hook headline, will save you months in your job search. So then we're coming down into the problems, because you don't do this all the time. So how are you going to know how to do it well? And also it's changing. So what can you do? This is a beautiful offer. Nice. I'm passionate about crafting impactful career stories and specialize in resume writing, LinkedIn optimization, and interview career coaching. With over 20 years in executive recruitment and 8 years as a resume writer and career coach, I create marketing materials highlighting relevant competencies. It's such a beautiful soft sell, right? Isn't it? It's kind of like, don't have the pain, come and get some answers. You know, this is why you aren't getting success, and it's not your fault, right? And again, it's not your fault, but still some of the stuff that you know probably won't get what you're after. You won't get what you want. So what can you do? Here's a beautiful reason in a subtle way, moving into the solution. Nice. This is a great about section. So stop wasting opportunities. It's great, isn't it? And achieve your career goals with the help of professional resume writers, crafted over 5,000 resumes. This is well written. This is an incredible about section, Belinda. How can I help you? And then very briefly, we always want, this is a landing page 101, right? We always want the bullet points. We'll always have odd ones. So they'll either be 3 or 5, which is what the brain is uncomfortable with. If it's 4, if they're even numbers, you won't read it properly. Any more than 5 and you start to get overloaded, right? So how can we help? I offer you an experience by providing personalized strategy for clarity and new career direction that aligns with your goals. I offer an honest and pragmatic approach because I understand that you will land your dream role, and I have successfully placed people like you and helped them get on average a 20x ROI. And then we come down into the bullet points that just nail home the argument. Here's how we do it, or here's how to do it. So this is like how to get involved, which is great. So this is the process so that you know what you're up for, and then how to get involved. This is incredible. This is a fantastic about section. If you're not going to put an offer in like I do, and you're going to put an offer in like this, because this is a beautifully written offer. It's a mini landing page within itself. I love this. This is fantastic. Yeah, and even this headline, like in headline perspectives, you would normally have it shorter, but this is just perfect for LinkedIn, because people will come in and they'll be reading and they'll go, don't let outdated advice and resume writing. And they'll just keep reading and they'll go, yeah, right? So this is fantastic. I love it. I love a good, well-written about section. Well done. And then here's all the links to get involved. And sometimes it's really odd with LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't want you to leave the platform, so they're a bit funny with the links. Otherwise, there is her email address, or I just pop in here because you know how much I love it. DM me. So that is incredible. Well done. Any questions on about sections? If you ever need to know how one's written, this is absolutely perfect. Awesome. All right. And then we come down to the services. So they're just sitting here, and a very top level way that we can just reiterate what we're up to. So just to recap so far, she's got an incredible page, beautiful headshot. I would just change that out. I'd love to get your opinion on that, Belinda and everybody else. Just turn that into something that I can read clearly. And then, as I say, move this across to the front so that it's left leaning, and then have everything else afterwards, which is fantastic. Great about section. And now we're coming down to the featured section. So what this generally does, or what I can see that Belinda's done here, is she's used it for her reviews. And what we normally do here is just put one thing in the featured section so that I can go and do the thing you want me to do, which is to book a call. So these reviews or recommendations are fantastic to have, and this just backs up everything that she's saying. And a lot of people, it's going into the people that need that social proof. So it's beautiful. I can see what she's done. She had literally, this is a landing page. The whole thing is a landing page. You can imagine it. But generally what we could do to make it a sales converting page is just have a one call to action in here, and it's usually a link to a landing page. So it would usually be a landing page more so than a Calendly link. So it would be a done for this landing page to the offer that you're currently selling. So it could have a VSL, like a video sales letter on there, or it's just actually the writing. But mainly what we want to do is just have a link to get people off here as quickly as possible and booking you. So from a sales perspective, that's what we would have here. From a landing page marketing perspective, this is great because it's hitting all of the goals of social proof. So based on, just because you've got a really cool about section, right, you could almost do it, but I would probably in the about section say, check my featured section to get involved as well, and just come down here and send people to the landing page to book the link to work with you. So it's ultimately what we want them to do. Yeah, and you could use your posts for social proof, but I get where you're going. I can see what you're doing here, and it's great. And there's a lot of social proof, which is awesome, but we just tend to have one. That's just the only difference. But if this is working for you, that's great. But just one call to action sitting here from a sales perspective. And that's it. Like, that's a fantastic page. If anybody wants to get in contact with Belinda, by all means, DM her or click some of those links. Come and check out her about section, because that is how you do it. This is an incredible about section. I absolutely love it. I love a good, well-written piece of work. All right. Oh, and the top skills are here, which are fantastic as well. So as you can see, overall, it's telling a story. We've met Belinda. This is what she's about. Just going to have that over here with who she helps and how, and then everything else to prove that she can do it. This tells the story, right? This is the sale. It's beautiful. And then a featured section. Yeah, imagine if you could just click on the thing, leave LinkedIn, go listen to you talk about your job in a VSL, or just even a small, it doesn't even have to be a proper VSL. It can do it with a Loom. And then a call to action and everything that people need on those pages. And then we're off LinkedIn, right? Shh, don't tell LinkedIn. And then we're into the business. We're into your business then. So that's all I could say about that so far. That's a fantastic page. I love that about section. All right. If you would like your accounts audited, by all means, click the links, register. I'd love to see you. If you'd like to get a handle on branding and get some content down for the next 3 months, if you'd like to set up your accounts properly, get some branding done, get some templates done, understand branding a little bit. And when I say branding, it's just getting some cohesive conversations in the market. If you're just starting out, or if you want to sort of solidify your brand a little bit, if things feel like they're a little bit all over the place. And if you'd like to get 3 months worth of content written, I have a workshop that's on in 3 weeks. It's a 4-hour workshop. It's the branding content creation workshop. I haven't found a sexy name yet. It's not very long. It's 4 hours. It's short, sharp, and it will have you set up, branded, and contented for the next 3 months, which includes an offer so that you know what you're writing to. So if you would like to be a part of that, DM me marketing school, and we'll go further with it. If you'd like an audit, you know what to do. Click the link and we'll get involved. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night live at 5 as we unpack more around this incredible topic. Thanks, team.